Hello, and welcome to my first financial podcast episode. So, I'm going to be talking about stories and topics in the world of finance over here. Today, I'm going to be diving into what I've been seeing in the news lately, which is a shift in the stock market where I'm seeing reports that Black investors are the fastest growing demographic of stock buyers in America. Of course, I think that this is great information, but when I look at the demographic of people that are investing, I find graphs and information that show me that in America, 67.1% of investors are white. 11.9% of investors are Hispanic or Latino. About 10% are Black or African American. 5.3% Asian, another 5% other, and then less than 1% as American Indian or Alaskan Native. I'm sharing that because, in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about investing, an increase is great, but how close are we getting to our white counterparts? And as we get further into what I'm going to share here, are other racial groups making better investment choices than Black people are? So, some of the information I'm going to share is from a survey from Ariel Investments and Charles Schwab. So, the survey revealed that young Black investors under 40 years old are leading this group. 70% of Black participants in this age group were investing. In recent years, fueled by social media, mobile apps, and an increase in the discussion around personal finance, the stock market has witnessed a significant diversification. According to the Wall Street Journal, nearly 40% of Black Americans own stock in 2022, and that's up a third since 2016. So there is a substantial increase to stock ownership in the Black community. I definitely agree with the points made here. Social media. I, of course, am a YouTube content creator in this realm myself. Over the last few years, I have definitely put more time into using YouTube to follow this type of content. I've learned and grown a lot. And from there, I've gone on to join discords and go to events that have also built on my financial knowledge. Mobile apps. Oh my goodness. I was just saying to someone, I don't know what it took in order to buy Apple stock back in the 80s, which we all wish we would have had the opportunity to do. But I know how easy it is now for me to go into my Webull app or my Fidelity app and invest into Apple for myself or into my daughter's UTMA account, for example. It's not complicated. It's right at the tip of my fingers. And of course, I always like to reiterate this: you don't need a lot of money to do this. You can make investments as low as $5 in many places. The survey also highlights commission free trading, crypto, meme stock, financial discussions, financial discussions everywhere on Twitter, which is now X, Reddit, all of these things coming together to increase financial access for young Black investors. But despite the growth, it's critical to note that the amount of money invested by Black Americans in stocks remains relatively small. So when you hear in a survey that we are the fastest growing demographic of stock investors, we also need to factor in what is the amount that is being invested. Because when you dig into the details, the amount invested by Black families in stocks is still relatively small. And with that small amount that's being invested, are sound investment choices being made? So while Black stock buyers is promising, the Federal Reserve data suggests that there's still work to be done. The median wealth for Black families has increased, but it's important to acknowledge that it's still significantly lower than that of white families. There are definitely, in my opinion, some good places that you can turn to in social media to get started with your investing, but it's a matter of knowing who to trust, where to go. And the study shows that while we, Black people, may be turning to social media and message boards for our investment knowledge more frequently, white investors rely more on their families and friends. They have a connection there that gives credible information and literacy throughout their community. This is something that the Black community, in many cases, is lacking. Growing up, looking to my mother's experience as well as my own, being a teenage mom, being a full time worker since I've been a teenager myself. And as I was going through, my beginning stages of adulthood, there was really no conversation in my family about investing. If I hadn't started working full time about the age of 19 years old and been introduced to a 401k, which I only contributed a small percentage to back then, I would not have been able to achieve what I have as far as investing. My story is not the typical norm. My first company that I worked for, I was there for nearly 20 years. And over time, I increased my 401k. Many people don't start working full time at that age. They don't stay at the same job for many years. So there's gaps in employment, lack of focus on building a retirement account, especially when you're earning low amounts of money and just trying to make ends meet. I've definitely been there and hope that some of the results that I'm seeing in this survey are showing that there is improvement being made, but I definitely see some places here where if you just look at the headline, you're not seeing the details of what is still lacking. I want to celebrate the rise of Black investors in the stock market, but a big point that is essential is addressing the gaps in financial education. While the desire to invest is strong, the study reveals that a significant percentage of both Black and white investors lack a full understanding of the sectors in which they want to invest. These are the type of things that I want to share on my channel: how to get started investing, how to make sound, long term investment choices that will give you reliable growth that you can build onto little by little, year after year, instead of jumping into hype stocks, potentially losing money, getting discouraged, and not being able to reap the benefits of investing. So let me know what you think of this first episode. Just a topic that I saw the headline and wanted to get a greater understanding of. I'm glad to see the growth in the Black community, but I want to see it in the right way. I want to see us increasing the amount that we are investing, making investments that are going to grow long term, having an understanding of and building our financial literacy by seeking out reliable resources, starting to have these type of encouraging conversations in our community, bridging the gap. I want all investors to be empowered and equipped with the knowledge to make wise financial decisions. I hope you found this episode to be informative. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back soon to continue to dive into financial trends and stories that I come across. Thanks for listening. Okay, bye.